Business owners, are your employees driving you nuts? Is money tight? Or have you just poured your heart and soul into your business and now it's time to retire and just relax? At Transworld Business Advisors, they have buyers from all over the world ready to buy your business now. Call for a confidential conversation about your business's current value. 561-203-5121. That's 561-203-5121 or visit tworld.com today.
Hey, it's Josh Cohen. When you need auto repair, honesty and reliability are everything. Trust the home for honest, reliable service since 1970. St. Lucie Battery and Tire. St. Lucie Battery and Tire has all the tire and battery brands in stock for cars, trucks, RVs, marine, power sports, golf carts, everything. Major and minor service repairs, free tire pressure, battery checks. St. Lucie Battery and Tire, over 50 years in our community. And now with 18 full-service locations, West Palm to the Treasure Coast. Go to slbt.com. That's slbt.com.
It's ESPN 106.3, your home for live sports presented by Hard Rock Bet. Home of the Miami Dolphins, Miami Hurricanes, and all of the biggest football matchups throughout the week. Hard Rock Bet, it's Florida's official sports book. Try Hard Rock Bet now and receive up to $100 back in bonus bets if your first bet does not win. Hard Rock Bet, roll with us. It's offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned by gambling, call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Does your business leave a lasting impression? Attractive, eye-catching signs help you stand out from the crowd and create a strong brand identity. Our team at Signorama West Palm are experts in helping your business get noticed and get effective signage in front of your potential customers. Our team can turn your blank windows or plain vehicles into money-making branding machines by drawing customers' attention to your business. So if you're looking to leave that lasting impression, call us 561-687-7993 or visit signoramawpb.com.
Hey, it's Tina. The Pickleball Club of St. Lucie West is now open. Join an amazing club that offers indoor championship quality courts and premium amenities that enhance your game. Whether you're new to pickleball, like me, or an experienced player, young or old, the Pickleball Club's world-class experience is more than just a game. It's a community where you can play, dine, and make new friends. Memberships are now available. Visit thepickleballclub.com for more information and to schedule your tour today.
As market dynamics change, the quality of service you receive from your accounting firm shouldn't. Partner-owned since 1923, Anshin Accountants and Advisors take time to get to know you and your unique circumstances to help resolve complex issues and develop innovative tax and accounting solutions. If you're a high net worth individual or business owner, eager for a strategy to maximize tax savings, let Anshin deliver value where others can't. Visit anchin.com.
Anajar and Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 106.3.
WUUB Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
The national media has said it. Opposing fans have chanted it and said it at the top of their lungs. Now you have former players uttering the same rhetoric. The Miami Dolphins are soft. How will they respond?
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios.
The man, your man could smell it.
Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking.
But are you a different animal and the same beast?
Streaming live on YouTube.
You're gonna break up with me because of what I do on the radio?
Here's Theo Dorsey.
Good people. Happy Hump Day. It's your boy Theo Dorsey, November 13th. Middle of the week. It's the middle of the week. We're in between weeks of football, sandwiched right in between them. Somewhat comfortably, because today's show, we got a lot of news between college football and the National Football League, whether it's former players calling the Dolphins soft, the Colts waffling on their decision at quarterback, going back with the young buck. And then you got the Georgia Bulldogs on the outside looking in for the college football 12-team playoff. A heap of things to get to. On the other side of the glass, that C-Cat on the ones and the twos. And man, if anybody that used to be an ESPN West Palm teammate stepped outside of this office, left this family, and said we were soft, there would be some problems.
Yeah, knock on the door.
There would be some problems. I need to see you one-on-one, because I know they ain't talking about me. I need to fight. First of all, I got to figure out who you're talking about, because it obviously ain't me or C-Cat. and then we'll have to settle that once we come to a conclusion on what you were trying to get at.
And that's offensive to us. In our job entails talking into a microphone or touching a soundboard or typing on a computer. Our job does not entail being a stronger man than the other person on the other side of the football.
Right. That's a contact sport. Football is a contact sport. And if you don't know what we're talking about here, current Steelers safety DeShaun Elliott, who played for the Miami Dolphins last year, he opened his mouth, unsolicited. Nobody asked him, hey, what do you think about the mental fortitude of the Miami Dolphins? Nobody asked him, hey, do you think that they maybe just, give a little bit when people push on them? Nobody asked him that specifically. They were asking him about his upcoming matchup as a Steelers safety going up against the Baltimore Ravens, a team that he used to play with before he joined the Dolphins. And it was on Marlon Humphrey's podcast, a cornerback for the Baltimore Ravens. Here it is from the Punchline podcast, DeShaun Elliott, answering the questions about Ravens Steelers.
I haven't been able to play against Baltimore the way I wanted to because last year I played up for a team that was soft as
Oh my God. Stop it right there, CK. The question wasn't about the Dolphins, but he brought up the Dolphins unsolicited right there, and he soft as bleep. That is, to say that about a National Football League team, one that, again, DeShaun Elliott is young. So I know that the Dolphins don't have the Steelers on their schedule this year, but he's going to have to suit up against this team at some point again in his career.
Yeah, and he's saying it about a team that has the kind of reputation of being just that. Sunny South Florida, candy-ass uniforms. People, when they talk about the Dolphins who aren't as educated as Elliott is of the situation, call the Dolphins soft for many years. And now a former player of theirs is definitively saying it. He would know better than any of us. That's tough to swallow if you are someone in that locker room right now as a Dolphin.
That's damning on your organization. To me, I mean, it's disrespectful, number one, but it's damning towards your football team because that's already what we could, like you said, that's the opinion of the masses. And now you've had somebody to suit up and say that. So now it gives it more validity. That means that now other teams that have probably been saying it internally are going to feel more comfortable attacking them in that way. And we see it every single year under Mike McDaniel. Really good against bad teams, don't show up against good teams, have a propensity to be bullied around. And we saw some of that this year. We saw that in their first matchup with the Bills. We've seen teams have their way with them in December and January. Not even in January. They don't even get to January half the time. And then also, I'll never get the image out of my mind of Tyreek Hill being jammed to the ground in the AFC wildcard game last year against the Kansas City Chiefs at Arrowhead. I know it was really cold. Tyreek Hill letting L'Jarius Sneed jam him into the ground multiple times, stand over him, bark at him. And after the game, the very next day, Tyreek is retweeting, quote tweeting that, laughing at it. Like, are you serious?
See, we said they have had this reputation, and a reputation can be based on zero fact.
Yeah.
It can be a rumor that has spread, something that caught on, what the media are saying. That can make your reputation. But now a former player says it, it's a statement of fact.
So DeShaun Elliott, again, was a safety, played on the defensive side of the ball for these Miami Dolphins. And here it is, Jalen in the chat. Y'all boys soft as cottonelle. Triple ply. I mean, I can't even afford triple ply cottonelle. That's so much. That is so tender. Yeah. I can't afford that when I go to the store. Double ply at the very most.
Yeah, that decision has been taken out of my hands in my household because I go cheap on the toilet paper.
Yeah. Oh, you can't. You don't do single. You only scrape yourself up, man.
Yeah, I take it from work. Kind of under my shirt out there. Yeah, I go out the back door.
Hey, I've not been above that. Back in my first job, I frequented that, but that's more so because I used to always forget to get stuff from the grocery store. Now that I have a wife and she handles a lot of picking up the stuff, we're fine on that end. But look, this is embarrassing. We talked about embarrassments on Monday and how the Cowboys should be embarrassed, all the stuff they have coming out of their locker room and whatnot. How the Miami, football teams in general should be embarrassed. The Dolphins should feel embarrassed and humiliated. Let's hear the rest of DeShaun Elliott, though, because he went on, and we'll play it from the beginning because listen to him right after he says it. He acknowledges he shouldn't have said it, but because he has zero fear, he has absolute no fear of the repercussions that could come because he knows how soft the Dolphins are, he continues.
I haven't been able to play against Baltimore the way I wanted to, because last year I played up for a team that was soft as I mean, oh my God, I can't put that on there. That was pretty soft. The guys on the team, but there were some guys who were tough, but like for the majority of the team, there was not mentally tough individuals.
Oh my God!
So to be on a team with the full team of mentally tough guys going against another mentally tough team and AFC North ball, it's gonna be fun, man.
It only got worse. Like it's worse that he tried to clean it up, and in cleaning up, he said, "Well, they were pretty soft," and then he said they're not mentally strong; they're mentally weak. Like it got worse as he tried to explain the way that he said they were soft as bleep. It would have been better if he left it as soft as bleep. Now we know exactly what he's talking about.
Yeah, because like in a football locker room, being physically not soft, I got in trouble for saying what I said yesterday, but if you're a tough guy, physically, that means to you. But if you are soft mentally, that's kind of addendum on you as a person. Like outside of football, if you're in any job and someone labels you as mentally weak and mentally soft, I don't want to work with that guy. I don't want to play next to that guy.
No. Being described as mentally weak, fragile, not just within the football locker room in general, that's just overall a diss. It's a bit disrespectful. To say that about a professional football team in a contact sport where you're likely going to have to play him again. I looked it up. I was just trying to see, is he on his last deal or something? He's 26 years old. Deshaun Elliott has at least 4 more years, and he also right now he's one of the best safeties, or he's one of the best defenders on that Steelers team right now. He leads the team in tackles. He has an interception. He's integral to what the Steelers do on the defensive side of the ball, and that's where they hang their hat.
And he's kind of speaking for the AFC North there because he's talking about AFC North football, Ravens, Steelers. They kind of have that, to compare to college football, SEC mentality.
Yeah.
It's just tougher here. You guys wouldn't get it unless you played in this rivalry. Even Bengals, Browns, include them in this AFC North division. We play football a little bit differently here. That's cute, smoke and mirrors in the South Florida sun. This is AFC North football.
Yes, and I just actually got a text outside of the chat asking, because they're curious if you actually got in real trouble for what you said yesterday. He didn't get in trouble from the higher-ups. It just looked bad when he started talking about, if
you're not soft, you're hard.
Yeah.
And, it doesn't really apply that way.
It doesn't. It doesn't. And
I didn't get in trouble, no.
He went in a little too far on talking about how, it just got a little weird.
I didn't want to derail the conversation I did yesterday, even though we're talking about softness.
Yes. And that's what Deshaun Elliott said about your football team, your team that was 11-4 and then lost out at the end of the year last season. And part of the reason why y'all lost out was because you whirled into a game with the Ravens. I don't know if people remember that or not. The Dolphins, I believe, were 11-4 last year near the end when they had that game against the Ravens. And that game, if the Dolphins would have been able to win it, would have put them in I think, pole position in the AFC. They would have had a chance to be the number 1 seed. And Deshaun Elliott was on the Dolphins at that time. He rolled into that week with them. He saw how they prepared. He saw how they went out there and played. He played alongside them. And the way that he depicts and the way that he perceives that same team, which has a lot of the same cast, is soft. And the results also speak to them being somewhat soft. Losing that game against the Titans last year, being up by 13 with 2 minutes to go and finding a way to lose. Every single result we've seen from them against contenders, against playoff teams in the past couple of years, the only team they beat that made the playoffs in the past few seasons under Mike McDaniel was the Cowboys, who are also soft.
Yeah. If there's a second in the running for reputation of being both mentally and physically soft, it is the Cowboys 2, the Dolphins 1.
Yeah, it's a clear delineation, and I wouldn't even feel comfortable putting any other team in that conversation.
Because it's disrespectful.
It's disrespectful. But time and time again, people either say it behind microphones, people in positions like ours, or now former players are saying it publicly as well that the Dolphins are soft. So with all that being said, C-Cat, of course, if you're Mike McDaniel, who speaks on Wednesdays for the Miami Dolphins, head coach there, it's their 3rd year, you're still in fighting position to make the playoffs this year. You hear that guy who you used to lead and coach, who you didn't re-sign in the offseason because you felt you can be stronger in other ways, that guy is saying that about this current football team. There has to be somewhat of a firm response to that, right? Can we hear Mike McDaniel talking to reporters today?
Our team played a tough fought game the last 3 weeks, and ended up finding a way to win this past week. And I think that's not the easiest thing to do, and just worried about this year's team. And yeah, it's cool. You said on a podcast, cool podcast.
That's it.
I mean, it's just like what. That's the leader of your Miami Dolphins, and I like Mike McDaniel. I'm a guy that's favorable towards him. I like how creative he's gotten on offense. It was really fun. I've said it from the beginning of his tenure there. He's made the Dolphins fun. At the very least, even if they're not going to win, even if they're not going to be Super Bowl contenders, the Dolphins are fun. That's good for this area. I don't know if you have that kind of response from a Dan Campbell, from a Mike Tomlin. Hell, even from like an Andy Reid. I don't know if that's what you're going to hear from them. Either you're outright dismissive of it or you attack it head on. But that's the response of a guy. That's the kind of response you would expect out of a coach who is supposedly leading a team that's soft. And I don't want to think that the Dolphins are soft, but damn it, every other clue is telling me that they are at this point, C-Cat. Everything is pointing towards that.
That immediately made me think of college football last year. One of the biggest non-conference football games was Notre Dame. It was Ohio State. When Ohio State beat Notre Dame, what was the first thing that Ryan Day had to say after an instant classic? He went after who he believed to be Lou Holtz because he believed Lou Holtz called his team soft.
Yes.
And the first thing that he had to say was, well, I would like to know where Lou Holtz is right now. That's not a soft football team.
He wanted to fight Lou Holtz on that football field right there. Lou Holtz is 98 years old. That's how angered you should be by somebody characterizing your team as soft.
Like, if we're in the sandbox of sports,
Football.
right? There's a real world out there that we know football and sports is its own little sandbox. It's not real life. But that's like the worst thing you can say.
Yeah.
That is the worst thing you can say about somebody else.
Growing up in Texas, it's funny because it's not going to resonate with anybody that didn't grow up in this environment. But, like, one of the worst things you could tell somebody as a kid in Texas from elementary school to middle school and whatnot was to call them friendly. If somebody, like, legit, I've seen fights spark out because somebody was like, yo, you friendly as hell.
Really?
You're friendly, bro.
Can you tell me that? That would make me feel good, I'll be honest.
I know. I get it now. I'm a mature man. I'm an adult. I understand. I have perspective. I know what the word means. I know what the connotation is. It's not negative at all. For some reason, and also Texas is like known as the friendship state. I think that's like a moniker or whatnot. For some reason, friendly was the worst adjective you can just use to describe another boy, another kid at that point. And I saw fights break out both on the playground and on the basketball court because somebody caught. That's what soft is supposed to be in football. If you get called soft, we have to handle that. We have to figure it out. I know the Dolphins and Steelers don't play this year. They better schedule an exhibition. If I'm Mike McDaniel, I'm like, well, let's line them up. Let's figure it out.
Join practice next year. I think it'll happen.
Bump the Pro Bowl.
Oh, okay. We're not waiting that long.
We're going to line them up. We know neither one. I mean, the Steelers actually have a chance to actually compete for something competitive or meaningful. But that's how I would expect you to want to respond. And what Mike McDaniel said, I just can't do it. I can't.
Well, yeah, there is a real chance. I mean, if the Chiefs slip up and the Dolphins claw back to have a Steelers-Dolphins playoff game,
it's true.
We could get that. But if you're being called soft and your answer to that is weak and soft like that, then I don't trust the Dolphins to come back.
The Dolphins aren't making the playoffs. They're not. And I told you it was false hope yesterday. And today I'm going to remind you it's false hope. And if you need any other example of why I don't believe in that team, it's that response to being called soft from a former player who less than 12 months ago was in your locker room fighting for playoff position with you. They're not making the playoffs this year. That's cool. They're still a fun team from time to time. Hopefully they give us a good show. I'll be at Hard Rock Stadium Sunday to watch them take on the Raiders. And do we have some breaking news on the starting quarterback position with the Raiders? Is it
Breaking news on ESPN 106.3 is brought to you by St. Lucie Battery and Tire. If your vehicle has issues with braking or other issues, get it fixed right now at St. Lucie Battery and Tire.
The Las Vegas Raiders heading into their pending matchup on the road against the quote-unquote soft Miami Dolphins, have decided that Gardner Minshew gives them the best chance to win. Antonio Pierce telling reporters that will be their starting quarterback at Hard Rock Stadium on Sunday. So we have to at least chalk that up as a Dolphins win.
Better.
We should. But again, you listen to Deshaun Elliott, you believe they're soft. That breaking news brought to you by St. Lucie Battery and Tire. There's a couple other nuggets from the NFL. Anthony Richardson being named the starter again for the Indianapolis Colts. Shane Steichen saying he's going to start through the end of the year, so he's realized the errors of his past. Joe Flacco does not give them the best chance to win. It is Anthony Richardson because of what he does for the run game. I agree. We've seen enough of Joe Flacco. Pick 6 on your first throw. Interception on your next drive. Get that guy out of here.
I don't hate the way the Colts have handled this. I think it's kind of similar in the way that the Panthers have handled it, in the fact that they trust that the quarterback that they drafted, the young guy in the room, is adult enough to understand if you're going to play good, we're going to start you. If you play bad, we're not going to start you. I don't care what kind of draft capital we spent, what you're making. No. If you're not making us the best chance to win the game, we're not going to play you.
Yeah.
And I think Anthony Richardson, they drafted him because they believe that he can handle that mental gymnastics of not being the chosen one every single week. I think he trusts that.
So here's what I'll say then. You have to stick with Anthony Richardson the rest of the year. Ups, down, side, left, right. He throws the ball backwards like Josh Allen did in that playoff game a few years ago. Anthony Richardson is your quarterback. You have to stick with him here on out, because if I see you go back to Joe Flacco again this year, I'm going to ask you why. What is the intention of that? Is it punishment to Anthony Richardson? Was the first one intended as punishment? Did you really believe Joe Flacco was a better quarterback for this team? What is the point of the trajectory of your organization? It's clear to me that Joe Flacco doesn't give you a better chance to make the playoffs this year. The ceiling of Anthony Richardson, you assume, gives you at least a puncher's chance at it. But even if you're not trending towards the playoffs, even if he has consecutive bad games, you need to stick with Anthony Richardson to give him more reps, to give him an opportunity to develop. And if you're Shane Steichen and you're that offensive genius that we pose you to be, then figure it out with him. Have more teaching moments with him. We'll discuss a lot of that and more as we bring in, on the other side, we're going to bring in Evan Cohen from Unsportsmanlike as he makes his weekly visit with us. We also posed this question. I'll put it out there now. We'll discuss it a little bit, and then we'll pose it to Evan Cohen as well, because I can't believe that this isn't like 100% everybody's all in on one side of this thing. If I told you today, C-Cat, you have to pick one for the rest of your life. You can either pick watching NFL games or college football games. That means if you pick college football, no Monday Night Football for you, no Thursday Night Football, no Patrick Mahomes. Nah, you could go back and watch old clips of him at Texas Tech.
Save some money on Red Zone.
You save some money on Red Zone for sure. There's no college football Red Zone. They need to get that. There is it's one or the other. It's do or die. College football or the National Football League for the rest of your life. You have to pick one sport to watch, and the other one you have to turn a blind eye to. You cannot watch a very second of it to go for the rest of your life. Clearly, for me, it's the National Football League. I don't even take a half second to consider it. In fact, when somebody posted on Twitter, I was confused because I was like, oh, is this even a question? It's like, yeah, do you for the rest of your life, would you rather be able to drink water or not be able to drink water? I'm like, yeah, I would love the opportunity to have some H2O in my system. I don't understand the people that want to pick college football, C-Cat.
Yeah, different strokes for different folks, and I love both a lot. I think I love college football a little bit more than you. A
little bit.
Maybe not overwhelmingly more, but I enjoy college football more than you, and I'm still on the same side as you. I still think that you get so much more NFL football. The season's longer. You get a much more plentiful slate of that. So I love football. Give me the option that gives me more football, and that's NFL.
NFL all day over college football, and it's not close for me. And we'll get to the college football 12-team playoff stuff. Georgia on the outside looking in right now. Miami getting the 4 seed in the bye still if they can win the ACC. We'll touch on all of that. But again, give me the NFL over college football day in and day out. But what say you? We posed the question on Twitter. We also are going to give it to you right here on ESPN 106.3 and right here on Theoretically Speaking. You had to pick one. For the rest of your life, you can only watch one, college football or the NFL. Which one are you choosing and why? CCAT and I agree for once. We're both going with the NFL. Hit us up on the Baptist Health Hotline, 888-760-3776. 888-760-3776. Hit us up on the Baptist Health Hotline. NFL or college football, which one can you not live without? Are you experiencing foot and ankle pain and need to see an expert in the field? Baptist Health Orthopedic Care has a team of foot and ankle orthopedic surgeons and specialists who are regarded as leaders in their specialty. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho to learn more today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care combines its resources of experienced physicians and leading-edge treatments and technology to provide advanced orthopedic, foot and ankle, joint replacement, spine, and sports medicine care. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho for more information today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care has offices conveniently located in Palm Beach County through the Florida Keys. Learn more by visiting baptisthealth.net/ortho. 888-760-3776, as well as jump on our YouTube chat at Theo Speaking on YouTube. Our YouTube is presented by Prize Picks. The comment section is easy. You can also do it via Twitter. And just let us know, for those that actually prefer college football to the NFL, I'm curious as to why, because at least the rhetoric back in the day was, amateur football. They don't play for money. I like the kids give more effort because they don't have money on the line, and the pros are just a bunch of soft and money chasing people, and they forgot the main thing, which is football. You can't even say that about college football anymore.
No, you can say it about the NBA. It's just one big friend group that plays in the court. There's no hatred there. No, exactly. Those college kids, they're all making money too now at the highest level for sure.
There's no worse ending in the game than a college basketball ending. Not because there's a lack of thrill. There's an oversaturation of coaching and timeouts and stoppages of play. Like the last 2 minutes of a college basketball game that is close takes an hour.
Yeah.
And that's my biggest gripe with college basketball. I feel like somehow, some way, we need to find a way to pull coaches' abilities from taking timeouts out of that game a little bit later in the game. Let the kids play. Let us see some fast, flowing action. It's tough. Speaking of taking timeouts away from coaches, tough night for Eric Spoelstra. Tough night for Coach Spo. Did you see what happened in the Heat game last night?
Didn't catch it.
Heat at Pistons. I got to discuss this with Evan Cohen as well, because Eric Spoelstra, to he and I, is coaching royalty. I mean, to most people in general. The Heat were at the Pistons. Their first play-in tournament game. Not play-in tournament. What do you call in-season tournament game for the NBA. So it was on the funky-looking court out in Detroit. Ironically,
Emirates tournament.
Emirates tournament now. They got a sponsorship. That's great for the NBA. Ironically, Jalen Rose is in the crowd. Jalen Rose, Detroit guy in the crowd. The Pistons run a backdoor play on the inbound, down by 2. They get a lob dunk to tie it up at 121 apiece. The game is tied. There's 0.5 seconds left or whatever. We're about to go to overtime or another overtime. Eric Spoelstra, out of frustration, rushes out onto the court, calls a timeout. The Heat don't have any more timeouts.
That's a tech.
That's a technical foul. That's 2 free throws for the Pistons. The Heat were going to get the ball back and a chance to either go for a game-winning shot or go to overtime. Instead, the Pistons get on the free throw line and end the game.
Wow.
The Heat lost last night because of a flaw in Eric Spoelstra, what you never see. They win so many games because of him. Last night they lost in spite of him. And I'm going to address this with Evan Cohen on the other side. He's a Heat culture guy, Heat lifer like me. I think that's how bad the Miami Heat are this year. They're so bad that they frustrated Eric Spoelstra beyond the point of his own knowledge of the game. He admitted it afterwards. He said, I knew the rules. I knew we only had I knew we had no more timeouts. We went over it in the huddle, but I was so frustrated with them allowing that backdoor cut that his emotions took over. He is a sicko. He hates losing. And I think he's that frustrated with this Heat team. They're getting him out of his character.
I think that's a little that's foul play from Spoelstra. You can't blame your team. You guys played so bad that I made a mistake. Come on, dude. You made the mental mistake. Don't try to pass it off on us.
You're right. But he has a background and a wealth of knowledge, as well as enough data points for us to know he doesn't make those kind of mistakes.
I want Coach Spo to run suicides.
Yeah, you're right though. He needs to do something. It was him.
You can't blame it on anybody else.
You're
Maybe
right.
you can tell us, like, introduce us into the inner workings of your mind as to what exactly happened there when the reporter's like, what happened there? Like a very open-ended reporter question. He has to bring up something, and that was it.
He took accountability out. So we'll get the sound in the break, and we'll play it with Evan and address it. But, yes, he lost the game for the Heat last night, and just an incredible way for the Miami Heat to go out. It's been a bad year. It's going to be a long year. Jimmy Butler's not around. Tyler Hero dropped 40. That was fun. But, yes, very weird times on the basketball court. On the other side, we bring in Evan Cohen from Unsportsmanlike. We address that. We talk 12-team playoff, as well as which one can you not live without, college football or the NFL. That's CCAT. I'm Theo Dorsey. We're Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3. Time now for a PNC pause. PNC Bank is committed to making a difference in the lives of the customers they serve in the South Florida community. See how at PNC.com. You're listening to ESPN 106.3.
I'm Ellie Anajar of Anajar and Levine. Injured in a car crash? Never rush to settle with insurance companies, and never settle for just any attorney. Demand Anajar and Levine. Our experienced legal team will fight to win you the maximum compensation you deserve. Call me, Ellie Anajar, for a free consultation and take back control of your life. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
In office, West Palm Beach.
Good people, it's Theo Dorsey. Spring training 2025 at Roger Dean Chevrolet Stadium is approaching pretty quickly. Season tickets, mini plans, and group tickets are now available for the St. Louis Cardinals and Miami Marlins 2025 spring training games. Individual tickets go on sale November 19th. Visit our website at RogerDeanChevroletStadium.com or stop on by the ticket office. We can't wait to see you at the ballpark in 2025.
Hi, this is Blaine Isbell, Corporate Vice President of Team IP. For over 30 years, Team IP has been a national leader in decorated apparel and promotional products. National corporate brands and 22 college bowl games, including the Boca Raton Bowl, make Team IP their partner of choice. Team IP, located right in our community in Stewart, is a proud partner of ESPN West Palm. Contact me anytime at 877-821-8643 or head to teamip.com and take the first step in making Team IP your team to boost your brand.
Mega Thrills at Rapids Water Park. Mega Fun. And new Mega Mayhem, now open. The first dueling water coaster in Florida. Buy single-day tickets in advance online and save. Only at South Florida's Mega Thrill capital, Rapids Water Park.
HSS Florida presents ESPN West Palm's High School Game Day, supported by Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather. We're headed to the playoffs, where the Atlantic Eagles open up their postseason run. Coverage starts at 6 p.m. Also presented by Kaiser University, Land Rover Palm Beach, Duffy Sports Grill, Shaw Sports Turf, South Florida Ford, Bud's Chicken and Seafood, and the Boca Raton Bowl.
Hi, it's Luis Fonsi. What makes a performer truly legendary? How about being the #1 bestseller for 47 straight years? That's what Ford F-Series trucks have done every year since 1976. For generations, hard-working South Floridians have relied on Ford F-Series trucks to help grow businesses, communities, and families. A legacy of capability and technology. Ford trucks, perfect for South Florida. See your local Ford dealer today.
Celebrate the most wonderful time of the year at the Gardens Mall. Santa is here for photos during all mall hours now through Christmas Eve. Reserve your spot at whereissanta.com. The Kids Corner Holiday Shop in Nordstrom Court is now open. Kids can pick out gifts for their favorite people with help from Santa's special helpers. Plus, enjoy festive decorations and holiday events throughout the mall. The Gardens Mall, just 1 mile east of I-95 on PGA Boulevard. Join us this holiday season and make magical memories with the whole family.
Hi, it's Evan Cohen. If it's a slam dunk or a game-winning drive, it happens on ESPN 106.3. Tomorrow, Week 11 in the NFL begins. It's the Commanders and Eagles live at 7:30. Tell a friend, tell an enemy. The game's right here on ESPN 106.3.
Hey, my name is Colin Russo, and this is your Miami Dolphins Minute. Well, the Miami Dolphins, after losing 3 straight, are back in the win column after a hard-fought victory over the Los Angeles Rams last night in Los Angeles by a score of 23-15. It was mostly a battle of the field goals between both teams, but it was converting touchdowns in the red zone as the difference maker for the Dolphins. Tua Tagovailoa finished the game 20 of 28 for a touchdown, a pick, and a lost fumble. But on the bright side of things, the Dolphins now sit at 3-6 and are in second place of a lopsided AFC East. The Finns have a pretty easy schedule the rest of the way. They roll on back home next week and take on the struggling Las Vegas Raiders on Sunday at Hard Rock, 1 p.m. kick. That was your Miami Dolphins Minute presented by Hard Rock Bet, Florida's official sportsbook. For the first time ever in Florida, bet on the Dolphins all season long. Try Hard Rock Bet now and receive up to $100 back in bonus bets if that first bet does not win. It's offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Considered by gambling. Call 1-888-ADMINUTE.
ESPN 1063 is pure genius. Each drop of ESPN 1063 is purified through frequency modulation, a process inspired by the clouds. ESPN 1063, it's good for you.
College basketball is coming to Sunrise. Catch a thrilling doubleheader at the 2024 AutoNation Orange Bowl Basketball Classic. Be there at Amerant Bank Arena on Saturday, December 14th as the UCF Knights take on the Tulsa Golden Hurricane and the Florida State Seminoles battle the Tulane Green Wave. Tip-off is at 2 p.m. Bring the whole family for a pregame party on the plaza. 1 ticket, 2 college basketball matchups. Tickets start at just $20. Get yours now at orangebowl.org.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
I cannot believe all of the stuff that came out of this Deshaun Elliott podcast with Marlon Humphrey ahead of this Steelers-Ravens game. It wasn't supposed to be about the Dolphins, but the former Dolphins safety not only calling Miami soft as bleep, he went on to consider that the culture around that locker room, especially last year, was they weren't prioritizing football. They were having too much time going out and enjoying the Miami nightlife. He talked about how they lost their heart following the injury bug and the loss to the Titans. Like, it's pretty damning stuff. And now we're hearing this not only from a former player, we're hearing it from Jordan Poyer, who came to the Dolphins from the Bills and admitted what the Bills thought of the Dolphins was that they were weaker. And from Jalen Ramsey, who said he had to address it for the team. This is not good. It's not good at all. Theo Dorsey, C-Cat, theoretically speaking, here on a Wednesday. And on Wednesdays, we bring in our guy, Evan Cohen from Unsportsmanlike. You hear him 6 to 10 a.m. with Michelle Smallman and Chris Canty. And Evan knows South Florida professional teams better than, a lot of us around this office too, because before he was big national TV, put his makeup on and his grandma sweater guy, he also was a guy that spent about 20 years down here in South Florida covering these teams closely. Evan, I know you probably do want to address the sweater thing. We can get to that first before we address what Deshaun Elliott's been saying about the Dolphins. What's up with the sweater? Are you retiring it?
What's wrong with my sweaters the last 2 days? I mean, I've gotten destroyed. My wife likes them. I kind of think they look somewhat cool. I think I have like a cool look going. And I have been annihilated by everyone, including ESPN NFL analyst Jeff Saturday, who by most accounts, Theo, is like the nicest guy there.
Yeah.
And he's even been destroying me. Kimberly A. Martin today, annihilating me on my look. I mean, I have become at ESPN nationally what John Martin, and JMP, Jeremy Marks-Peltz, were for 20 years. I am now them. I'm J-Mart and JMP. I am now what CCAT has become. I'm the punching bag. I'm the weirdo. It's a weird turn of events for me.
Well, Evan, you did it to yourself. That's called karma, because if you would consider J-Mart and JMP punching bags back then, who was the guy throwing the haymakers?
You see, what happened was...
Yeah. I've heard the stories. Yeah,
that's a fair retort. I don't really have a retort to the retort.
You
so that was well done by you.
No, but no. I will say this about this.
You just B-rabbited me and I'm Papa Doc at the end of 8 Mile. I got nothing to say.
Oh,
so
my
right.
goodness. Because I said it all for you. That's
yeah,
classic.
that's right.
That's
stuff. How I live. That's how I live life. I always literally try to tell me what's wrong about me before the other person says it, and then they got nothing to say. Admit fault before getting cut.
Evan, I will say this about your sweater. They talked about it. I mean, I don't think it was a bad look. It just looks like the kind of sweater you would wear in a family portrait for like a Christmas card, more so. It just looked like.
I literally have that's exact. I'm not kidding. I will send you later.
Oh my God!
Not for social, just you.
Yeah.
I literally have a professional photographer that took pictures of my wife, kids, and I, and I'm wearing the exact sweater that I'm wearing right now talking to you.
That makes so much sense. I mean, did you at least explain that to them? Because that's
I didn't even think about it until you just brought it up.
Gosh. Okay, so we'll get off of that topic since people can't see the sweater right now. But if you want to see it, go to Unsportsmanlike's Twitter page or ESPN Radio's Twitter page. It's been the topic of conversation ever since he's gone back-to-back days with that guy gives nice hugs sweater on. Evan, that's what people think about the Miami Dolphins right now. Oh, and CCAT has put the picture of the roast of Evan Cohen up for people to see it on the YouTube stream right now. People think the Dolphins are soft. Have you seen what Deshaun Elliott, the Steelers safety, has been saying about that Dolphins football team? And how do you
I saw a couple of headlines, but I haven't heard it in full. But I'll say this. Listen, I think it is what Pete Carroll did in Seattle, I think is hard to do. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about the coach. That's the happy-go-lucky, smiley, pat people on the back, glass-half-full coach, and your team also is nasty. Legion of Boom, hitting hard, being just tough, nasty team. Mike McDaniel, what they tried to do is they tried to basically not hire Brian Flores, right?
Yeah.
How can we find the opposite of what Brian Flores was? You would never, Theo, ever in a million years say about a Brian Flores team, they're not tough and nasty kind of team.
No way.
And he was so tough that it got to their quarterback. And as Chris Canty said on our show on Sportsmanlike 6 to 10 here on ESPN West Palm, they hired Brian Flores for the team. They hired Mike McDaniel for the quarterback. And when you hire one coach for one guy, the toughness part of it, the patting people on the back, the having fun, glass half full, things can get out of hand. And it seems like right now they're getting out of hand.
They're getting out of hand in a way that feels like it's going to be hard to put the toothpaste back in the container here, because Jordan Poyer, when he came over to the Dolphins this year, he said something in line with that. Jalen Ramsey has addressed publicly that he's had to address a softness issue or a toughness issue with the Dolphins. Now a former player that was just there is saying it, but he also criticized the team for losing focus following last year's loss against the Titans, as the Dolphins started strong and got really weak over time. He's talking about like the South Florida club scene, some players thinking they're bigger shots than they are and losing focus of football and whatnot. Like, it's not just a softness factor. It seems like he's calling out a full culture problem with these Dolphins. And like, who are we to disagree with him, right? Like, he was there.
Well, and you used the word. I don't know if you used this word for a reason, but I'm going to capitalize on it to your point, culture. Okay? I think one of the greatest culture moves I've ever seen. The NBA has a G League, the minor league team. Okay? Minor league teams. If you think about it, minor league players, like we have in Jupiter, right, in the idea of the Marlins having their facility in Jupiter, if they need a player to rehab, if they want a player, even if a AAA player is going to play, in a single A game before he goes up to the big league club, they could play a 1:00 game in Jupiter and still a few innings and still potentially be there for a 7:00 start in Miami, right?
Yes.
And you want the proximity close to it. So when you have a minor league basketball team and you play in Miami, one would think the perfect spot for a minor league basketball team when the NBA team is in Miami, the perfect spot would be Palm Beach County. But you know what? The Miami Heat organization is so aware of the beauty that is South Florida, the amazing life that can be South Florida, that you know where their minor league facility is?
Sioux Falls.
Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
That's messed up,
because
man.
No, it's not, though. Because they know once you're one of 15 to 17 and you've made your way onto that team, they don't have to worry about you. How many players have you ever heard Heat players getting in trouble in Miami?
It doesn't happen.
Ever. How many players have you heard the nightlife is too much for them? Because when you get to that point, the Heat are very careful in who they're going to get and who can handle it. And the Miami part of it, the South Florida part of it, doesn't impact them the way they do in other sports. And if they're worried, if they're not sure, they're going to send you literally, not figuratively, to South Dakota to test you out.
And that's why the James Harden rumors that offseason never made sense because
exactly.
You're not
exactly
you're
right.
not reeling that guy in. You're not reeling that guy in. Bam got his jersey hung in the rafters for the gold medal win. James Harden, he has his jersey in the rafters. Yeah, he's got his jersey in the rafters in the city in Houston, but more so for his participation in gentlemen's clubs. So not the same thing. Evan, we've been having this discussion all day. College football, we saw the CFB 12-team playoff rankings come out. Nice to see Miami get that 4 seed in the bye week if they can win the ACC. Georgia fans are very angry that they're not in the top 12, but I don't want to talk about that stuff. I'm curious for you as a fan. If I told you starting today for the rest of your life, you can only watch one of these two sports, and I put up the NFL or college football, which one could you not live without?
Yeah, it's not close. I mean, I'm like NFL.
Yeah.
NFL.
Come on.
I mean, in Palm Beach County, college football is dominant. We know that, right? College football is huge. When Mike Norvell makes the decisions over the weekend to fire a bunch of guys on the staff, it's news. When the Gators are bringing back, their head coach, it's huge, right? When the Canes lose to Georgia Tech, that Cam Ward fumble late, very frustrating, it's huge. I get all that. The reality is, for me, it's NFL over college football.
It's bigger. It's better.
But I'm going to tell you something.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you something. The NFL is the biggest sport, but if you said to me, I could only watch college football, the NFL, or just the Miami Heat the rest of my life, it would just be the Miami Heat. I am that obsessed right now with just watching the Heat. I don't miss games. It's maybe a little much as I love the NFL, and I love college football, not as much as the NFL, the Heat above all.
Wouldn't that be choosing the Heat over your job, though?
Well, yeah, but I mean,
take that part out of it.
No, but I'm saying, you can get by without watching the Heat if you're going to be the host of Unsportsmanlike.
You just got way too.
I understand that, but we're playing out a make-believe.
Yeah,
so if we're going to go based on the so let me.
No, Evan, no, you don't have to. No, you don't have to address.
I want to do this for CCAT.
No.
I want to do it now. I want somebody else to be the punchy bag because I've been that all day. Yeah. Hey guys, Greg. Because I work in talk radio, it's most important for me to watch the NFL.
All right, thank you.
He's breaking down the third wall
Great
for no reason.
Producing, CCAT. Great producing. That really, that provided a lot of follow-up.
Just accountability. That's all I wanted. It's a little bit.
Evan, so I assume you saw what happened last night.
Oh my God!
Evan,
I did.
How can we play? So CCAT and I were discussing it before the break, before we brought you on. We're just gonna play the audio of Eric Spoelstra explaining why he erroneously called a timeout when the Heat had no more, then causing the Pistons to win the game with a couple technical foul free throws.
JB just drew up a great play. We didn't have the backside protected. It was just a really well executed play, and then I just made a serious mental error, there at the end. That's on my. That's on me. I feel horrible about it. There's really no excuse for that. I'm 17 years in. We had talked about it in the huddle. I knew that we didn't have anything. I just got emotional and reactive on that, and I just made a horrendous mistake.
I've never seen Eric Spoelstra make that big of a mistake, that big of a quote-unquote rookie mistake. But also, Evan, that tells me more about the play of this Miami Heat team that I think is getting him out of his character. They're playing so poorly. They're messing up assignments in such an erroneous way that even Spoelstra is getting out of character. How did you kind of perceive what happened last night?
Yeah, I think that's a great observation by you. I think what's lost in this is that people who just swooped in at the end saw a chance to win the game, lost by a timeout, and don't realize the Heat were down 18 at one point in this game. And Tyler Hero went absolutely, and this is at Detroit nonetheless.
Yeah.
Tyler Hero went insane in this game, to even give them a chance, right? 6 3-pointers in the fourth, 10 for the game, 40 points overall. This was miserable last night in the way in which this ended. I am giving Spoelstra a pass, and I think you're going to learn a lot today on our station, on ESPN West Palm, because you have – here's why I'm going to say you're going to learn a lot. You are someone that's a Heat fan, okay? You've been through the ups and downs. You're questioning this year's team very fair, which I'll get back to that part of it in a second. But you know how good he is. You have to wonder at 4 o'clock when the Railroaders, Russo and Rizzo, show up, are they going to think, hey, we're going to destroy this guy Spoelstra, worst coach of all time, or are they going to keep it calm today and realize this is the biggest mistake this guy has ever made in 17 years? You got to give him a pass, because there is no chance in hell that I'm going to go after Spoelstra after last night. None. You are lost if you go after Spoelstra. Do you have to point out it is one of the biggest coaching gaffes we've seen in a long time in sports? Absolutely. Do you have to point out that Spoelstra took accountability? Yeah. It was awful? Yes. Eric Spoelstra has won hundreds of games for this team. Last night, he lost the game. But to your point, excellent point by you. There's an argument he lost it on the play before, right? On the fact that the backdoor play happened, and whatever he's doing to coach them up didn't work. But I'm going to ask you another question, okay? Because there's a dirty little secret here. We all have been riding the roller coaster of Jimmy. We get it, not playing. I think we're all thrilled with what Tyler has done this year, okay? I was asked today by Canty, what do you think is going to happen with Jimmy? Don't you think at some point they're going to move on from him and kind of going to transition out of the Jimmy Butler era? And I said, maybe, but if Bam doesn't take it, I'm not transitioning out of it. Bam, the season started. I get the alley-oop last night. It was amazing. What is going on with Bam, Theo?
I'm starting to wonder if, like, Khalil Ware needs to maybe light a fire behind him the way that Bam lit the fire behind Hassan Whiteside. I don't know what it is, and it's he had the, like, 1 30-point game, I think, a week or so ago. He hasn't even been as good on the defensive side of the ball. I'm nervous about that, man, and he just got the extension, so hopefully it does start clicking for him soon. But you're right, it's hard to trade off Jimmy when Bam hasn't taken that leap to superstar yet.
That's right, and I love Hawkes. But Hawkes wasn't in late. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
And did you notice the other night against Minnesota, by the way? Bam wasn't in late on some possessions also.
And that was a good win that they squeezed out. And that was a coaching win, too.
Right.
The play, the backdoor to Jovic. How do you lose on a similar play?
But Bam wasn't a part of some of this stuff.
Crazy.
And maybe he's banged up. Maybe it's wear and tear. Maybe Bam, would it surprise me if you told me Bam has 2 torn ACLs and 2 feet with plantar fasciitis and he's playing through it? No. That's why you love Bam.
Yeah.
But then, you know what? Let him sit out a couple of games, because this is ridiculous.
Well, maybe he could if Jimmy could
play. And last night was one of his better games, which is crazy to say.
Right. It's not looking good for the Heat right now. Hopefully, like they've done in many years in the past, they find a way to turn it around. And Evan, I'm looking forward to seeing what you pull up in tomorrow for Unsportsmanlike. I know whatever it is, it'll be better than again, it's a friendly sweater. It's a nice sweater. Cuddly sweater.
I still don't understand CCAT. Well, how would you do your job if you only watch the Heat every night? Okay, CCAT. Yeah, I get it.
I just wanted you to clarify for our loyal fans that you would put them above your love of the Heat. That's all I wanted you to say.
Oh.
Protecting you from yourself.
Okay, thanks. I appreciate it. You're my life offensive lineman. Thanks so much.
Yeah,
no problem.
He was workshopping that the whole time. Evan, appreciate your time, man. We'll catch you next week. That's Evan Cohen, Unsportsmanlike, 6 to 10 a.m. with Michelle Smallman and the resident Super Bowl champion, Chris Canty, who, by the way, we need to get back on the airwaves here soon. Both Smalls and Canty. We haven't had them in a while. We'll make the appropriate requests in due time. CCAT, before we go to the other side, we're talking about the Miami Heat. We're talking about culture. Now we're talking about trivia.
We certainly are.
Yeah.
Because I just looked up the National Football League yards after catch leaders list.
Yeah.
Number 1, after the display that he put on Thursday Night Football, Jamar Chase, slam dunk. He leads the league through 10 weeks of this 2024 NFL season in yards after catch with 451.
Joe Burrow's a yak merchant.
Yeah.
Saying.
There are 2 names directly behind him, and neither of them are receivers. They're running backs.
Wow.
So you listening, you viewing, the fans out there enjoying ESPN 106.3's Theoretically Speaking, and Theo Dorsey, you got to tell me, who are the 2 running backs that are second and third through 10 weeks in yards after catch?
Great question. I was going to go Brock Bowers. I'm glad you specified they were running backs and not just non-receivers. I would have lost that one. I'll give you the answer on the other side. That's C-Cat. I'm Theo Dorsey with Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Hey, it's Evan Cohen from Unsportsmanlike. What's going on? Our show ended hours ago. I'm supposed to be home by now. People are expecting me. Let me out of here. Hey!
Fight fans, make Twin Peaks your UFC fight headquarters. The official fight headquarters is Twin Peaks. Never, ever a cover. All fight organizations, all boxing, doesn't matter. Never pay to watch the fights. Plus, eat, drink, scenic views, and Twin Peaks 29-degree ice-cold beer made from scratch favorites while watching all the fights. And did I say never pay a cover? That's Twin Peaks, Pembroke Pines, Cypress Creek, Hollywood, Davie, and of course, Palm Beach Lakes Boulevard in West Palm Beach. Your ultimate UFC fight headquarters, Twin Peaks.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that wants to learn more about careers with Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
Hey golf fans, Colin Russo here. Looking to improve your game? Flagstick Golf Performance, the ultimate indoor golf experience, is now open in Boynton Beach. With 3 indoor simulators and a state-of-the-art putting studio, Flagstick helps players at all levels up their game. Get lessons from experts, try the latest clubs, or just come up for a round in the simulators. You can track your stats and see real improvement. Flagstick is where serious golfers and beginners find their edge. Bring your friends or family and enjoy golf like never before. Visit flagstickgolfperformance.com to book your session.
ESPN West Palm and Humana are proud to recognize military veterans within our local community. Our Veteran of the Month is Richard Codd. Richard served 4 years in the United States Air Force while stationed in Montana, with 2 overseas deployments in Kuwait. Throughout his service, he exhibited remarkable dedication and skill. Richard is committed to honoring our nation's heroes every day in his personal and professional life while he lives in Port St. Lucie. He's an avid soccer fan and devoted supporter of Real Madrid, one of the best teams in the world, with the likes of Jude Bellingham and Vinicius Jr. His favorite athlete is none other than Real Madrid legend Cristiano Ronaldo. Join us in extending our heartfelt gratitude to Richard for his unwavering service, sacrifice, and continued dedication to his fellow veterans. Richard Codd is the Veteran of the Month, presented by ESPN West Palm and Humana.
ESPN 106.3 is pure genius. Each drop of ESPN 106.3 is purified through frequency modulation, a process inspired by the clouds. ESPN 106.3, it's good for you. Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is Theoretically Speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
It's right around the corner. It sure is December 18th, a Wednesday at FAU Stadium, a 5:30 kickoff. I'm talking about the Boca Raton Bowl. The Boca Raton Bowl, Palm Beach County's premier college football event. It's back this year, as if it was going anywhere. Last year, we saw USF put the beat down on Syracuse out of the ACC. What will this year's game have in store? Big names, big teams, big action. The 2024 Boca Raton Bowl. That's going to be December 18th from FAU Stadium. If you want more details, if you want some lead-up stuff, or just to get an eye on tickets, keep an eye on the tickets, BocaRatonBowl.com. BocaRatonBowl.com, and I can neither confirm nor deny I will be there at some point putting on a Santa outfit.
Yeah, we'll be live from the Boca Bowl that night.
We also will have a live show. And we'll have a lot of other activations around the Boca Bowl. It'll be fun. And yes, apparently I might be subbing in for the big fella. Ho, ho, ho. What's the trivia question again?
So I told you Jamar Chase leads the NFL in yards after catch.
Yeah.
If you're new to football, it's how many yards that you register after catching a football on a reception.
I don't know if anybody would have been able to get that off of just the context of you saying yards after catch.
Chase has 451 yards after catch. Number 1 in the NFL, number 2 and number 3 in the NFL at Yak are both running backs. Who are those NFL running backs that are near the top of the charts?
I'll start off just listing off the 4 names that I'm stuck. I don't know which way to go, but here go the 4 names that are obvious to me. There's James Cook. There's Jahmyr Gibbs. There's Devon Achane. And Chase Brown hasn't played enough snaps. This is tough. This is tough. I will go. How about I just get my first guess and we'll see if I'm on pace here. Let's go with Devon Achane. Wow, just not enough games played, I'm guessing. Where's he at on that list?
He's at number 6 with 362.
Not enough games played. He had a couple injuries and whatnot. I should have known better. Okay.
Yes. You know what? Fair point to you. The top of the charts, Chase and the next 2 running backs below him have played 10 games.
Yeah.
Everyone below him, including Achane, playing 9 games.
Yeah, and Achane's played. Also, he missed a game or 2 with an injury.
Right, yeah.
So he's way. So he would be on pace, but he just isn't there. Okay, give me Jahmyr Gibbs. Wow. Bijan Robinson. I'm gonna get that one wrong too. Whoa, what?
Bijan is 3rd in the NFL at yards after catch. He's got 410.
It makes a lot of sense, though, because Kirk Cousins is doing a lot more dump-offs, and Bijan's not running downfield routes. They have guys for that. So most times when he catches it, it's behind the line of scrimmage.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so I'll go Bijan Robinson, and that would make sense. Who's another quarterback that does a lot of dump-offs because they can't, buy time in the pocket? They're afraid of their Achilles getting popped again. Let's go with Breece Hall. Wow. I'm way off on that one, huh?
Breece Hall has played 10 games, so in that aspect, you are kind of off because he's only 9th on the list.
Yeah.
330 yards after catch this year.
Is it Chase Brown?
Not Chase Brown.
Jeez.
Chase Brown, I don't think they register his stats. That's how far down the list. Yeah, he's not in the top 25.
Justice Hill.
What?
I mean, he gets a lot of. He catches the ball a lot out of the backfield for y'all. Okay.
Think about receiving running backs.
I know. Who am I missing right now? Austin Eckler.
Backup. He's a backup for the Commanders.
I know, but he gets a lot of catches around the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, in 2017.
It wouldn't be any of the Chiefs running backs. I'm getting this. We're gonna keep going until I get this. Damn it, I'm too close. All right. What conference?
It's in the NFC.
NFC. So, yeah, not gonna be Ken Walker now. All right. Rams, okay. Oh, not James Conner either. Who am I missing in the NFC? NFC, what division? East? Oh, Saquon Barkley. I'm pissed. Okay. Not Saquon either?
Saquon isn't in the top 25 either.
Jalen Hurts doesn't throw to his running backs. Okay, NFC West, NFC North. Oh, NFC North. Josh Jacobs. That's wrong too. Yeah. Aaron Jones. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, man. He got compared to Aaron Judge over the weekend. So that means pretty high praise, no?
NFC West. NFC East. NFC South. Okay. No, not Chuba Hubbard. All right, who is it? Oh, Rashad White.
Finally. No, he didn't get it. No, it's Alvin Kamara.
Oh, I forgot. I said it. Oh, my.
Yes, he got compared to Aaron Judge by, I believe it was Greg Olson, because Kamara dropped an easy ball.
Oh, yes. That would have got. Oh, but they still won the game. So, yeah, that was a wide open. That was a touchdown.
He had about 20 yards separation from the nearest defender.
And he does not make those kind of mistakes.
Alvin Kamara, 2nd in the NFL right now in yards after catch with 426.
Yeah, he's really good. And that's his game, too. It's been his game since he got in the league. Every single year we're like, is this the year Kamara falls off? And no, it's not, because he catches the ball a lot. And he's always a fantasy football superstar. Can't believe I didn't get that one. Who were the names again? It was Alvin Kamara and Bijan Robinson.
Yep.
Okay.
It goes Kamara, Bijan Robinson, Khalil Shakir.
Yes.
4th in the NFL yard after catch.
Josh
Allen.
Allen.
You get Rashad White, then Achane, then Godwin, still up there.
Wow.
Even after that injury, Chris Godwin, 350 yards after catch this year.
Josh Allen is the ultimate yak merchant. His air yards per target, It's not what you would think from a guy with the arm power of a guy like Josh Allen. I'm not even saying this is a Josh Allen hater. He's been doing this since last year when Joe Brady took over. Tina's coming in for the happy hour on the other side. We also are going to discuss something very important to me. Is it too soon? Is it too soon to put your Christmas tree up? I can tell you right now, it's not too soon to hit a Duffy Sports Grill and enjoy some 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day, as well as have 80 or more television screens to be able to just vibe out a little bit. Oh, I'm watching this, I'm watching that, I'm watching this. And what's that in front of me? Some jumbo wings, award-winning burgers, but you can't get to the entree before you get to the starters. Let's talk about it. Of course, you got the firecracker shrimp. That's a mainstay, and the amazing mozzarella sticks. I love the way they do their mozzarella sticks. Not everybody does them right. Duffy Sports Grill is a place where you can get them precisely the way I like them. A little greasy, extra cheesy. Marinara sauce is perfect, but you got the house-made fried pickles, smoked fish dip, gridiron nachos, some of the new football features that are in the starting lineup as well. 2-for-1 drinks, 80 or more televisions, Duffy Sports Grill. Go to the nearest one near you. Become a rewards member like me, an MVP at duffysmvp.com. At Duffy's, our game is always on. Happy hour's next, but theoretically speaking, on ESPN 106.3.
Anajar and Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 1063.
WUUB Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
The quality of our choices affects the quality of our lives. So, when it comes to how you move, do you choose to see a doctor or go to the #1 orthopedic specialist in the world, backed by a team who custom tailor your treatment? Do you choose to live with limitations or live life to the fullest by going to the place that's #1 at getting people back to what they love? Choose better, move better. Locations in West Palm Beach and Wellington. Learn more at hss.edu/Florida.
Cozy up with your favorite sweet treats at DQ Grill & Chill. Featuring the blizzard of the month, Oreo Fudge Brownie. It's the perfect treat for anyone who likes the sound of an Oreo crunch paired with soft brownies and rich cocoa fudge. Plus, come get a delicious frozen hot chocolate made with fresh cocoa fudge and vanilla soft serve to keep you warm when the temperatures go down. And Parmesan garlic chicken strips are back at DQ Grill & Chill with 2 locations, 4828 Lake Worth Road and US 1 just south of North Lake.
Does your business leave a lasting impression? Attractive, eye-catching signs help you stand out from the crowd and create a strong brand identity. Our team at Signorama West Palm are experts in helping your business get noticed and get effective signage in front of your potential customers. Our team can turn your blank windows or plain vehicles into money-making branding machines by drawing customers' attention to your business. So if you're looking to leave that lasting impression, call us 561-687-7993 or visit signoramawpb.com.
Is your credit on life support? Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach will be hosting a credit clinic at the dealership today and tomorrow. Local bank representatives will be on site to grant special approval to consumers who meet certain minimum criteria. If you have a job bringing home $350 weekly, the credit clinic at Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach wants to approve you so you could drive home your new Kia today. Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach will be hosting a credit clinic at the dealership today and tomorrow. Hello, is this thing on? I repeat, Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach will be hosting a credit clinic at the dealership today and tomorrow. If you have a job bringing home $350 weekly, the credit clinic wants to approve you for a new Kia today. So what are you waiting for? Don't miss the credit clinic today and tomorrow at Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach. Call 800-NEW-KIAs or go online at greenwaykiawestpalmbeach.com.
We want to see you in a Greenway Kia.
Credit affects down payment and approval term.
Good people. It's your boy Theo Dorsey, and let me tell you about Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action. With over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings, Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 100 times your cash. Run your game all season long on Prize Picks. Prize Picks now offers Venmo for quick and easy deposits and withdrawals into your account this sports season. Think Justin Jefferson will get more than 83.5 yards next week? How about Lamar Jackson? More than 1.5 touchdowns. Cook up hot takes with your friends and win real money this football season when you and your crew run your game on Prize Picks. Download the app today and use code THEOD to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code THEOD and get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game.
F45 Training West Palm Beach offers functional group fitness classes reimagined. Sign up for F45 today and visit their West Palm Beach location. Featuring high-intensity group workouts that are fast, fun, and results-driven, F45 always has the right workout for you. Not to mention, it takes just 45 minutes. Visit F45training.com today to find a studio near you and officially join the F45 Training family. F45, team training, life-changing.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios.
The man your man could smell it.
Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking.
But are you a different animal and the same beast?
Streaming live on YouTube.
You're gonna break up with me because of what I do on the radio?
Here's Theo Dorsey.
Good people. Yes, Sirski. It's your boy Theo Dorsey. We're back at it in the happy hour. C-Cat's on the other side of the glass on the ones and the twos. And Espresso Martina has pulled up. Tina in the house. Tina on a Wednesday. Tina, how you feeling?
I'm feeling good. Happy Wednesday.
We're good over here. We're kicking it. It's hump day. We just got off the horn with our guy Evan Cohen. We chopped it up. We talked about some good things. You can catch that on the wherever you find podcast. Theoretically speaking, subscribe, download, rate us 5 stars. You also can check it back on our YouTube. Our YouTube stream is presented by Prize Picks. You can always listen to us by saying, hey, smart speaker, play ESPN 106.3. And then you'll be tapped into us here on the happy hour as we cruise. And Tina, I know that we've been talking about this all day, and we haven't had anybody disagree with us, which is weird because on the Twitter poll, it's pretty split down the middle. But C-Cat agrees, I agree, and Evan Cohen agrees.
Oh.
If somebody said, for the rest of your life, you can only watch and consume and enjoy and talk about and be in the midst of the NFL or college football, which one would you pick? We all say NFL. Now, you're more of a casual sports fan, Tina.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm curious because for you, maybe here living in Florida, there's a lot of Florida teams that matter to a lot of your friends and family. Maybe y'all do tailgates here and there. Maybe people invite you over for Saturdays and you might enjoy the college football game more. Which one do you feel like you can never do without, NFL or college football?
I would say the NFL.
Boom.
College is really hard to follow.
It's been settled.
And for me, I think it's just there's so many teams, and I didn't have that college experience where I went to school. It was so involved in the school. It's such an experience for you. And I didn't really have a team either growing up that my parents were huge fans of.
Yeah.
That I followed with them. I was like, oh yeah, that's my team. I really don't have a college team.
Yeah. So for you, it would be NFL.
Yes.
Because you have a professional football team, the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yes, I do.
And y'all are 7-2.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
I would agree with that. With college football, if you grow up going to college football games, it's more than the football game. It's all of the ceremony around it, like going to the tailgates, dressing up as a cheerleader for that football program when you are 4 years old.
Yeah.
College football means a lot to the people that are ingratiated and really are just a part of that culture. If you didn't grow up a fan of a team in college football, or you didn't go to that school, or your parents didn't, it's hard to get as attached to those teams as it is a pro team.
It would be kind of weird for you to just get attached to that as somebody that didn't kind of grew up in it or around it or whatnot.
That's every, Alabama fan?
Yeah.
Or every Michigan fan?
Yeah.
They kind of just pretend.
They just attach onto it. And again, for me as a Miami Hurricane fan that grew up in Houston.
Oh, so you're guilty party too.
I am. But again, here's the difference though, or at least I'm not going to absolve myself from it. I can admit I am a fan of the Miami Hurricanes football team, right? I'm a fan of the way that they play, the characters that came through that locker room that put on performances. I loved watching them on Saturdays growing up, and I still do. I can't attest to be somebody who is moved by the traditions that the Hurricanes fans might love and endear and do. And, like you said, the tailgating and all that stuff, growing up in the environment is a lot different than just being a fan from afar.
Yeah.
You could be a Duke Blue Devils basketball fan, but you ain't a Cameron Crazy. You know?
Yeah, like that and like Notre Dame fans, like just because you're Irish doesn't mean like you could be called the Fighting Irish.
No.
You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people out there in the Northeast that think their 23andMe qualifies them as Notre Dame fans.
Yeah.
It doesn't work that way, pal.
No.
For me, growing up, my parents were not huge sports fans. And both of my best friends, though, growing up, my guy best friend, my girl best friend, both of their families were from Pittsburgh. And that's how I became a Steelers fan.
Oh, wow.
Because they like took me in. For Christmas, they would get me Steelers jackets,
That's kind of
beanies.
selfish.
And well, I was around them all the time. Like I was so involved in their family activities and I was always around that they really whatever. That was
They force-fed you your fandom.
I'm not complaining.
I know you shouldn't.
I
It's a good
shouldn't.
team.
I'm
Yeah.
not
If it was the
complaining.
Jets, it would be a bad thing.
But that was for me. I grew up in it with like my two closest friends growing up from a really young age because it wasn't my parents doing that. It was they had those family traditions. They're from Pittsburgh and they had every Sunday watching. They had Super Bowl parties.
Yeah.
They had
I know he's got something
It's
to say.
actually interesting how I have multiple friends who are from Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Where like growing up too, I had more friends whose family were from Pittsburgh and I've been
So random.
It is really random being
I don't
here
know
from
anybody
West
from Pittsburgh.
being here, like being born and raised here in West Palm,
Yeah.
like multiple friends of mine are from Pittsburgh and they're Steelers fans. And I never lost it. Even like growing up, like I had clothes and, like sports attire
That's malpractice by them.
from
That's
my
malpractice
friends.
by
And
those families. I want to interject and say this. Just if my kid came back from a friend's house for Christmas, whatever. I don't care if you're visiting, having a good time, whatever. If they come back and their presents and gifts are, it's like
didn't mind.
Giants gear. I'd be
Ooh.
like, what the hell is this?
That's
but you're a
worse than if you're
sports fan. My
Exactly.
family really wasn't. Like, we weren't watching sports on TV. We weren't doing that. So my parents didn't care. It's not like they were my parents have now grown into being fans of teams. But
even if I wasn't a sports fan, I'd be like, what the hell is this? So you're a Steelers fan now?
I got to wear Steelers attire with them while I was with my best friends.
This is like if you were a devout like Catholic or one religion and you find out that your daughter was going to church at a different place, different religion, or whatever it is, and came back as, you know what, I guess I'm going to convert. I would be so mad about the opposing parents.
What are you doing?
But they weren't.
Propaganda.
My parents weren't sports fans. There was no team at home that we were rooting for or even watching.
They at least think it was weird that you just started subtly, wearing Steelers gear?
I
in the
don't
house?
think so because it happened for years.
This is like make sure you hug your kids or someone else out there will.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Make sure you ingratiate groom your children as sports fans of specific teams.
Right.
Someone else out there will do it themselves.
Or they'll leave you out there to fend for yourself, and thank God it was the Steelers.
Right. I'm not complaining about that at all.
That's how we've created that Lakers, Cowboys, Yankees stereotype.
Yeah.
It's kids that grew up without influence from their parents. Because if you're just going to be out in this vast open sea of sports fandom.
That's the Warriors fans of today.
What's the popular team? What's the flashy team?
Yep.
Most followers on Instagram and Twitter.
Yep. And
I'm going to be a fan of them.
And that was me as a kid for the Miami Hurricanes growing up in Houston. And it was. I was never going to root for the Texas Longhorns who were in Austin. I was never going to root for the Texas A&M Aggies who were in College Station near Houston. But again, as a brother growing up in Houston, there's specific reasons why it's hard to root for either one of those teams. Won't get into that. But then the Houston Cougars also were, it wasn't a team that was competing on the national stage at all. They were more so now they have a shot to be a team that, a kid can grow up rooting for and go into games of. But back then, no. So the Hurricanes were winning. They were flashy. I loved the style of it all, and I became a fan from afar.
I was a Hurricanes fan growing up because my neighbor growing up, who I look at as a role model, an older sister, she was a Hurricanes fan, and I just want to be just like her. And so, that's how I was also, I wasn't really, I played sports growing up from a very young age, but we weren't watching it at home. We weren't going to games or anything.
Yeah.
So I was really influenced by those who were, around me and others who were into sports.
I'm glad it was the Steelers. Brian in the YouTube chat presented by Prize Picks, he says he's annoyed even when his kids have to wear other teams' logos during Little League.
Oh, yeah.
And honestly, I think that would tick me off, too, if it was the wrong team. I could not have my kids wearing the Knicks jersey.
Right, I can't imagine, C-Cats
Celtics.
kids, not in Yankees.
Yeah.
If your kids are going to be in another New York team, you're going to be like, no, we're done. We're quitting.
So I don't have kids, and I've never had kids in the past.
Okay, hold on. Pause right there. We would assume when a young person like yourself says, I don't have kids, that you didn't have them and then get rid of them.
You're running in different circles than me, friend. But
circles are ridiculous. They're wild.
One of the kind of tropes, one of the cliches that I hear about parents is when your kids grow up, you get less and less control of them, and that's kind of a struggle to have. It's something you have to deal with and you have to live with because when kids get older, you get less and less control because they become adults themselves, their own individuals. The one thing that you can plant that seed and have control over them, whether they like it or not forever, is making them a fan of the teams that you're a fan of.
Yeah.
So for all the fans out there that are listening on ESPN 106.3, watching on the Prize Picks YouTube stream, if you are even a hint of a fan of a sports team, even if it's your like third in priority list, your hockey team, your NBA team, whatever it is, make sure that they are a fan of what you're a fan of because you'll always have that on them.
But okay, so this made me think of when you are those parents who have reacted terribly when their high school senior picks that other college of like when they have to pick, and it's like their terrible reactions of they're going to a different school than like they want them to because there's probably fandom involved, or maybe there's some alumni or whatnot.
Yeah.
But that's a totally different situation. But
we've seen that too, though. We see that happens day in and day out.
Yeah.
Where you might be a big Blue Michigan fan and your kid goes to Michigan State or Ohio State.
Yeah.
So that's different. I think with professional sports fandom, though, I'm curious. Because CCAT says the onus is on the parent to usher their kid into a certain fandom.
It's a good parenting job if your kid grows up to be a fan of the same team you do.
My dad is a Raiders fan. Thank God. Dad, you've done a lot of beautiful, amazing things for me. Thank God you did not force the Raiders on me. That is the number one present you gave me as a kid. You're the best dad in the world. Number one dad. Thanks for not forcing that on me.
Call CPS if you're making you a Raiders fan.
Look, as we have a Raiders fan in the office who was converting his kids into Raiders fans.
Yes.
Endangerment of his shit.
Do you know? Wait, our teammate Brian McLovin-Rowitz, did he tell you that for his birthday a few weeks ago, his youngest son put the Raiders record on his birthday card? He was like, he did not. Like it was like, happy birthday, Dad, and then put like the Raiders record.
Why?
He's 5, 6. Like he doesn't know any better. He's a young Raiders fan.
Oh my God.
We think he did it on purpose, though.
I think he did it on purpose.
He's sassy.
So
I love it.
Here's the question, though, for those of you out there who have kids, or maybe for those of you out there who were ushered into a sports fandom because of your parents, whose responsibility is it? Who holds the responsibility for a kid's sports fandom? Should the parent force it on the kid, or should you leave it to the kid to decide for themselves? 888-760-3776. 888-760-3776. Who gets to choose the fandom for the young human being? Are we empowering the youth? Or are we controlling them like the puppets they are? 888-760-3776. CCAT says you should puppeteer them.
Yeah.
I'm glad that my father didn't. I'm glad he let me choose freely and roam out there. Now, my first choice was a bad one, but I absolved myself of that, and here I am in Chiefs Kingdom. Who should be controlling sports fandoms, the parents or the kids? 888-760-3776. Hit us up on the Baptist Health Hotline here in the happy hour. Maybe we'll give a toast to you. Maybe we'll decide a cocktail for you and give you a toast to go along with your answer. Again, the Baptist Health Hotline, 888-760-3776. Is joint pain affecting your quality of life? At Baptist Health Orthopedic Care, our team is experienced in traditional joint replacement surgery, as well as new, less invasive treatments, with the goal of returning you to what you love as quickly as possible. Learn more by visiting baptisthealth.net/ortho today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care combines its resources of experienced physicians and leading-edge treatments and technology to provide advanced orthopedic, foot and ankle, joint replacement, spine, and sports medicine care. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho for more information today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care has offices conveniently located in Palm Beach County through the Florida Keys. Learn more by visiting baptisthealth.net/ortho. 888-760-3776. Who gets to decide? Who has the final say on the sports fandom? Is it the parents or the kids? CCAT, who do we have here?
Got Sebastian in West Palm Beach.
Sebastian is in West Palm Beach. You're on Theoretically Speaking. Sebastian, how many kids do you have, Sebastian?
Well, I actually have no kids. But what I could say from growing up, well, first things first, I want to say good afternoon to you guys. I listen to you guys all the time.
Thank you.
I appreciate you guys so much. Hey, yeah. Hey, once again, hey, Chiefs Kingdom, you already know.
My dog, Sebastian, my favorite fan here. Okay,
hey, listen.
Talk to me.
Hey, and as a Chiefs fan, as a real Chiefs fan, we've had to go through it. You know, we're blessed right now to have Mr. Patrick Mahomes back there. But what made me a Chiefs fan is in '94, my dad was a Chiefs fan, and he was actually a Joe Montana fan. And Joe Montana came to Kansas City, and that's what made my family a Chiefs fan. We've been a Chiefs fan ever since.
So was he a 49ers fan before, or was your dad the first ever person to follow a player?
He was just a huge. He followed Joe Montana hugely. You know, that's a big man right there. And then when he went to Kansas City, followed him there, and I'm so thankful he came to Kansas City because if anybody who knows Kansas City, there is nothing like Kansas City, man. They eat and breathe football out there. It is insane.
Absolutely, man. I mean, I would know it. That was my birthplace. Sebastian, thank you for the call. Thank you for the call, Sebastian.
He's a real Chiefs fan.
What was
you
that,
are
Sebastian?
not. That was
Yeah.
Sebastian. What kind of curveball was that?
that was great.
What the hell was that, Sebastian? What does he mean by that? What was he getting after?
That's like if I go to my girlfriend who is a Cuban immigrant, I go, well, you know, I'm a real American and I love apple pie. Like that's the equivalent right there.
That kind of is.
We're like,
just because I came on
Theo,
a little later.
love the show, and since I'm a real Chiefs fan.
Why did he make that delineation?
You're like my favorite caller, my favorite listener.
We were having a good time. It wasn't even necessary to the point he was about to make.
Sometimes when you lift yourself up, you push others down, and you got pushed down, my friend.
I just don't get why. How could I catch a stray? I thought we were like talking about Patrick Mahomes and us.
Yeah, for new fans of the show, Theo converted to a Chiefs fan about 2 years ago, and yeah, people remind him of that. People don't forget that.
I want to remind you all too. 2 quick facts. All right. Number 1, it was in the offseason that the Chiefs traded Tyreek Hill coming off of the loss in the Super Bowl to the Buccaneers. People were a little bit down on the Chiefs, right? There were people calling Patrick Mahomes a Tier 2 quarterback at that point. All right. There was a lot of hatred around Kansas City. That's the first point. They won the 2 Super Bowls after I joined the fandom. Number 2, I was born in Kansas. So that gives me birthrights. And Sebastian, we are both Chiefs fans. I want you to judge me not by the date in which I joined the kingdom, but by the color of my blood, which is red. I can prove it. So, we're both Chiefs fans.
It's like bandwagon exclusionary Chiefs fan.
It's not
That's what he is. He excludes the bandwagons from the actual Chiefs fans.
Also, how the hell did his dad get away with jumping teams in the 90s?
Well, I mean, I guess
from 49ers to the Chiefs. I've never heard, like, people ridicule our generation because they say we were the first generation to follow players. Sebastian said his pops followed a quarterback from the Niners to the Chiefs. That is
unique because there's not that many Wizards fans out there that say, yeah, I followed MJ over.
Yeah. That would be so weird. And now they're a Wizards fan?
Yeah, that doesn't happen. Never has happened,
Never has
in
happened.
history.
And it's not like once Montana got to the Chiefs, it was like all like sunflower and roses. Like, I mean, like Aaron Rodgers is competing with Montana for the worst like jersey swap. He's going to beat him, by the way.
Yeah, that's going to look really funny in the future.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers, like his second tenure, you look at Brady, you look at Peyton Manning, who wasn't even that good in the Super Bowl run, but he had like a 50-touchdown year the year before that.
That confetti on those quarterbacks after switching sides.
Aaron Rodgers, he hurt his legacy going to the Jets. Not only that, he's looked bad. Like it's not been good at all. It's not even been like average. He's just been bad or not available.
What's the saying? It's not what they say or do that you remember. It's how they make you feel. Like how Aaron Rodgers is making us feel about him in this Jets tenure, it's damaging his long-term legacy.
Did you see that embarrassing appearance on Pat McAfee's show yesterday?
I didn't happen to catch it.
Aaron Rodgers quoted a tweet that said Jared Goff is 5-0 in games in which he's thrown 4 or more interceptions. And he referred to that tweet as fact. And not only did he refer to that tweet as fact and use that stat on the Pat McAfee show, Pat McAfee and his whole crew agreed and was like, yeah, that's the stat. I know the stat. Apparently, whoever tweeted it made it up.
You can just tweet out lies nowadays. It's false information to see who will bite, and you'll catch Aaron Rodgers.
And Aaron Rodgers will be like, why are you – I would be – if I'm a Jets fan right now and I found out that not only is my quarterback searching through Twitter so much today In the middle of the season, by the way, where we're supposed to be fighting for a playoff spot, he's sifting through Twitter so much that he saw a random account. It wasn't even one of those big parody accounts. It was like a random account. Tweet out something like that, took that stat, went on a media appearance, regurgitated that stat, and the show had so many characters on it that were ill-informed that they all agreed. That's embarrassing.
That's tough.
That is like, get off Twitter and get to practice. Get away from Egypt and get to training camp. Like, focus on football if you're going to tell us that's the priority, and stop lying to us otherwise. The Jets are a joke. And not to say it's not okay. People get fooled by Twitter stats all the time, but a starting quarterback in the NFL should likely not be on Twitter enough to get fooled by it.
Well, it kind of ties right back into our initial conversation about parenting and fandom. There's a generation of Jets fans out there that I don't know what it is about that specific fanship, maybe because it's New York and football combined, that you have a Namath generation that ushered in a 2000s generation that is ushering in currently a 2020s generation of Jets fans that were led to believe that this year would be different.
Man.
Finally, good quarterback play, back in the Big Apple, all for what?
For nothing. And it feels like it set the franchise back even further than it was when Aaron Rodgers got there. Like, when he got there, it was one of those things where it's like, oh, we're kind of close. Elite defense, right? Like, young stars, that really good draft they had, Sauce Gardner and then Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall. Like, and now look at the Jets.
Yeah,
like,
they're playing poker, and they pushed all their chips in thinking they had a full house, and instead they have like a pair of threes.
Sauce Gardner's regressed, too. They've been working on that golf game.
Tweeting and deleting.
Oh, tweeting and deleting.
Yeah, if you do not know what we're talking about, Sauce Gardner missed a tackle and looked foolish doing it over the weekend in that disgusting blowout loss to the Cardinals.
Trey McBride just discarded him. Tight end for the Cardinals.
So, rightfully so, Sauce Gardner was getting clowned online. And what did Sauce Gardner do? He quote tweeted that clip with the caption and was pretty much like, yeah, because if I make that tackle on the 35-yard line, it would make the difference in the third quarter with 5 minutes left, right? Because that would matter.
Yeah.
And he promptly deleted it.
Come on, man. Come on. What are we doing? At least if it was Tua, he would have led with his head and knocked the guy down.
That's
who
I want on my football team. I want Tua Tagovailoa. That's why I traded for him in fantasy football last night.
You did, and you're hoping and praying that guy doesn't injure himself. You probably should ask him to stop making tackles because that won't help your fantasy football team, nor will it help the Dolphins. We got so derailed right there. Your sports fandom, it should be decided by the kid. I will say this, too. Any Jets fans out there that are currently Jets fans that maybe have kids on the way or have young kids, do them a favor and just please allow them to choose for themselves. You can keep rooting for your Jets. I think that there's certain circumstances in which you should know how intrinsically how bad your franchise is and the trajectory of it, and you should not wish that on your children. Don't pass it down.
Should there be an age of fan consent that we should kind of put into law where you cannot consider yourself a fan of a football team until you turn X age? There's a percentage of your brain that's working enough to choose for yourself?
I think we as people get to perceive people's fandom in a different way, right? If I see an 8-year-old with a jersey on, I'm not finna, what am I going to judge him?
Right.
Right? You know, like at a certain age, I start to take your fandom more seriously. So I think it's probably like once you hit high school. Once you hit high school, I'll take your fandom seriously. Anything under high school, it's like, okay, that's cute. You like the team. You like the player. You saw a highlight. He does a nice TikTok dance. Okay, I don't care.
I think 12 was mine. A little younger for me.
12?
Because I think you get clowned in middle school and in late elementary school, and that's got to have a mental effect on you. If you don't let that shake you, you're a real fan of that football team. So I think you should not be able to call yourself a fan, and this is for your own good. This is for children's own good. You don't want to lock yourself into your year 6 brain, right? You don't want your 6-year-old you to decide the fate of your fandom the rest of your life.
You shouldn't.
You got to wait till you're 12. That's when you have the 4 hats on the table decision day for your fandom, and that's for the rest of your life.
And everybody gets one switch.
Just a little amendment, yeah.
Everybody gets one switch. You switched too.
When I was 12.
Oh, that's why he picked 12. That's selfish. That's selfish. That's ridiculous. Everybody is doing stuff like that. How could you, Tina? What is this guy?
I actually agree with CCAP.
Ridiculous.
I think middle school is like a good age where you are like you're getting more friends. You're probably in middle school, like also surrounded by like all the elementary schools are coming together.
Right.
And you are like on community teams together. You're watching sports, and that really is where your fandom, you find out what it is.
You stay up a little bit later. Watch those primetime games. You're not constricted. Like, you can watch Monday Night Raw.
You pick,
but CCAT definitely used himself, to pick all
he's
that.
like, I'm the perfect fan. So when I was 12, I decided so everybody gets judged at 12. That's what you did, CCAT. So.
Fair enough. What can I say? I'm a model of consistency.
Ridiculous. We need to do our prize picks plays of the day. We will give out our plays of the day on the other side. CCAT's going to give a pick, a player projection. Tina will, and I will as well. That's going to be on the other side here. Our prize picks, plays of the day. If you grow up in West Palm Beach, really if you grow up in South Florida in general, Palm Beach County specifically though, and you're looking for a college football team to root for, college sports in general, I wouldn't hate on you if you became a bandwagon Kaiser fan.
Not too late.
It would make sense. And if you get on board right now, we won't even call you bandwagon. We won't even have guys like Sebastian call in and say, oh, I'm a Kaiser Seahawks fan too, a real one. No. You're going to be getting in the fold at the perfect time. 22 national championships between all of their programs so far.
Got Ave Maria football game this Saturday, live on ESPN 106.3.
The football team right now, undefeated, coming off their first NAIA national championship win. They are the #1 team in the nation. They are well-rounded, excellent defense, empowered running game. They lean on the run, but they also have the threat of the pass. Really good. Complimentary football being played out there at the Kaiser football stadium. You're going to want to check on their schedule. You're going to want to see the rest of what the sports programs are doing. They have 60 or more college conference championship wins as well outside of the national titles. KUSeahawks.com. KUSeahawks.com. That's the website to check in on Kaiser Athletics and figure out how they're out there, defending the beach. Hashtag defend the beach. That's what they say. On the other side, we'll give our prize picks plays of the day. I need to show y'all. I need to listen in the other side of what Deshaun Elliott, former Miami Dolphins safety, current Steelers defensive back, said about the Miami Dolphins. He called them soft as bleep.
Whoa.
He also, Tina, said some things that were even more damning of the culture of the Dolphins, who I told y'all are selling you false hope. So we need to hear that, and we'll react on the other side as well. That's Espresso Martina. That's CCAT, the perfect fan. And I'm Theo Dorsey. We're Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3. Time now for a PNC pause. PNC Bank is committed to helping the customers and the communities they serve move forward financially. See how they can make a difference for you at PNC.com.
Hi, this is Scott Smith with Smith Ball Baez and Prather, Florida Injury Lawyers. We are a Florida civil trial law firm that specializes in the areas of personal injury and wrongful death. Our offices are located in Palm Beach Gardens, Boca Raton, and Port St. Lucie. Our lawyers have litigated thousands of matters at the Palm Beach, Martin, St. Lucie, and Indian River County courthouses. Our lawyers, paralegals, and other numerous members of our legal team live in Palm Beach County and Treasure Coast cities and towns such as West Palm Beach, Port St. Lucie, Lake Worth, Palm Beach Gardens, Palm City, Jupiter, and others just like you and your families. We are a statewide recognized law firm, but it is your community and your families that we live and associate with on a daily basis. Our most satisfying achievement is when we know that our legal power has helped a fellow member of our Palm Beach County and Treasure Coast community secure a fair and just huge result. If you've been injured, the lawyers at Smith Ball Baez and Prather will help. Call us at 500-HELP. 500-HELP. With Smith Ball Baez and Prather, help is just a local phone call away. Offices Palm Beach Gardens, Boca Raton, and Port St. Lucie.
Hey, my name is Colin Russo, and this is your Miami Dolphins Minute. Well, the Miami Dolphins, after losing 3 straight, are back in the win column after a hard-fought victory over the Los Angeles Rams last night in Los Angeles by a score of 23-15. It was mostly a battle of the field goals between both teams, but it was converting touchdowns in the red zone as the difference maker for the Dolphins. Tua Tagovailoa finished the game 20 of 28 for a touchdown, a pick, and a lost fumble. But on the bright side of things, the Dolphins now sit at 3-6 and are in second place of a lopsided AFC East. The Finns have a pretty easy schedule the rest of the way. They roll on back home next week and take on the struggling Las Vegas Raiders on Sunday at Hard Rock, 1 p.m. kick. That was your Miami Dolphins Minute presented by Hard Rock Bet, Florida's official sportsbook. For the first time ever in Florida, bet on the Dolphins all season long. Try Hard Rock Bet now and receive up to $100 back in bonus bets if that first bet does not win. It's offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Call 1-888-ADMINUTE.
When it comes to choosing a health plan, you can trust the members who have experienced it firsthand. Humana is proud to offer a Medicare Advantage plan in Florida that earned 5 out of 5 stars. 5 stars is the highest rating possible. It's based on real members' experiences, and it's decided by the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services. Our Humana Gold Plus HMO earned 5 out of 5 stars. That means a few things. It means members get outstanding customer service. It means we connect them with excellent preventive care and chronic condition support. Most of all, it means you have a trustworthy option for a Medicare Advantage plan. Explore our 5-star Humana Gold Plus HMO at humana5star.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Every year, Medicare evaluates plans based on a 5-star rating system. Humana is a Medicare Advantage HMO organization with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal.
As market dynamics change, the quality of service you receive from your accounting firm shouldn't. Partner-owned since 1923, Anshin Accountants and Advisors take time to get to know you and your unique circumstances to help resolve complex issues and develop innovative tax and accounting solutions. If you're a business owner or high net worth individual eager for a strategy to maximize tax savings, let Anshin recalculate what's possible. Visit anchin.com. Anshin Accountants and Advisors, delivering value where others can't.
Want to accelerate your career as a manager or executive in the exciting industry of sports? Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program is ranked #1 in Florida and 10th in the world. Students learn practical and applied skills from top faculty and experts who work in the industry. With a 94% placement rate for all grads, the full-time MBA program sets students up for success in the world of sports. Check out Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program today by going to business.fau.edu.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
It's a Wednesday, baby. Tomorrow is a Thursday. Tomorrow, we get Commanders at Eagles. We get a race for the top of the NFC East. Thursday night football. That's the kind of stuff the NFL provides. I would take Commanders Eagles tomorrow night over any college football game you have this weekend. I would rather watch specifically that game or specifically Chiefs Bills. I would rather watch those than anything you're giving me on the college football slate. That's why I say NFL over college football all day, any day. We still have yet to have anybody on the ESPN 106.3 airwaves say otherwise. The poll on Twitter is split, but real life people, we're all saying NFL. So it makes sense. Pro football is king in America. That's Espresso Martina. That's CCAT. We got the last call coming for you soon. Right now, we're going to give our Prize Picks plays of the day. Prize Picks, promo code THEOD. Free $50 if you have the app, and you can play with us. How about are we going NBA? Are we all three going NBA here?
Gotta go NBA.
Yes.
So Prize Picks, the way it works is player projections, and we'll go NBA Wednesday night games here. We'll all give a player projection. We'll put it in on Prize Picks. We'll tell you how much you can play and how much you can win off of it. I'll start things off here. It will seem like a risky play to many. Jalen Green's player projections at 22 points, the guard for the Houston Rockets. Over the past 5 games, he has not reached that mark yet, but they're playing an up-tempo Clippers team, a team that does not have guards that I believe will be able to defend his level of athleticism and the way he gets shots up. Plus, if anybody in the world knows Jalen Green's been struggling of late, it's Jalen Green. He's a guy that is a gunner who's going to go after it. More than 22 points tonight against the Clippers for the Houston Rockets guard, Jalen Green. C-Cat, do you want to go next, or Tina, do you have yours ready?
I got mine ready to
Let's go, C-Cat.
Me and 17.6 thousand other people all agree James Harden is not scoring more than 22.5 points against the Rockets. You said it yourself earlier in the show. When James Harden left the city of Houston, when he left the Rockets, they didn't hang his jersey in that basketball arena.
No, sir.
They hung his jersey at the Gentlemen's Club.
Yes.
Even though this game's not in Houston?
It is.
It is in Houston.
Yeah, no, I believe the game is in Houston. Yep, Toyota Center. So he's definitely going to be visiting that establishment tonight.
Oh, that makes my point so much better.
He might check out in the third quarter.
Harden, less than 22.5 points against the Rockets.
So we have 2 picks in the same game, Clippers-Rockets. I got Jalen Green more than 22. James Harden, less than 22.5. Tina, finish off this prize picks entry for us.
Before I get my pick, because I am new to prize picks.
Yes.
Is the fire, like, what does the
that
fire
just means
mean?
it's popular. That means
It's
a lot
popular?
of people are putting their money on it or putting their projections on it.
Well,
Yeah.
this one has a lot. Derek Jones Jr.
Yep.
will do more than 8.5 points tonight.
I like that. Why Derek Jones? Why former Heat wing Derek Jones Jr.?
I can't say what I
You
said
can't
during
say.
the break.
You can't say.
Mutual connection.
Mutual
I have
connection. We have insight on Derek Jones Jr., his willingness to put up shots. So, Derek Jones Jr. more than 8.5 points. If you put $20 on more than Derek Jones Jr.'s 8.5 points, more than Jalen Green's 22 points, and less than 22.5 points for James Harden, $20 earns you $100. On Prize Picks right now, use promo code THEOD, and you also get a free $50 when you make a $5 or more entry. Again, $20 get you $100 on that one. I'm putting it in right now, and we'll revert back to you later on next week as we give our Prize Picks plays of the day. C-Cat is pointing towards the Prize Picks promo code thing. I got confused there for a second, but if you're watching on YouTube, that's what he was doing. We'll clip that. We'll put that out on Twitter, and we'll have y'all tell us and hopefully make some scratch as well. Can we hear from Deshaun Elliott? This is something that was actually, when I first heard the first remarks from Deshaun Elliott, we're not going to play this again, but Tina, I'll just let you know. He said the Dolphins are soft as bleep. And not the S, but the F. Soft as bleep on that way. Deshaun Elliott played safety for the Dolphins last year. He now is on the Steelers. So he's your safety now, Deshaun Elliott. He leads the Steelers in tackles. He's a really good safety now. He had a kind of up and down year for the Dolphins last year. They didn't re-sign him. He left in free agency. He was on Marlon Humphrey's podcast. Marlon Humphrey's with the Ravens. Of course, we got Ravens Steelers this weekend, a huge matchup in the AFC North. Deshaun Elliott got to talking about the Dolphins specifically, though, because once he called him soft as bleep, there were some follow-up questions. Here he is discussing what happened last year to the Dolphins as they started the season hot, and down the stretch, they were not the same team.
We were a really good team, and then the injury bug hit us. And then after the injury bug hit us, we played the Titans. When we played Tennessee and lost to Tennessee, you can tell the heart and soul for that team disappeared. We didn't have any more guys that are going out more, guys that are going to the strip clubs throughout the week, guys that are showing up to meetings late. You can just tell, like, the Miami culture is a reason why Miami will never be good. Like, Miami will never be a good football team. And I don't care. They will never be good because of the Miami culture.
Ouch.
Wow.
Like,
put that into anyone else's profession. You'll never have a good law firm because of the Miami culture. You'll never have a good radio show because of the Miami culture. That's hurtful.
That is, I don't understand how the Dolphins can hear that from former players. Hear similar rhetoric from guys that are now joining your team, like the safety Jordan Poyer, who came over from the Bills and admitted they were never afraid to come to Miami and play the Dolphins. They used to actually applaud it. They were happy to go and visit the Dolphins. And it proved itself this year, too. 2-0 against the Dolphins this year. I don't know how if you have any level of pride, any level of toughness, I mean, just self-respect, how do you not hear that from a current NFL player who might have to play the Dolphins again in his career and not have some fire within you, want to prove yourself right? Do it on the field, right? Go out and make the playoffs this year. The Dolphins have their destiny in their own hands, even though they are 3-6 right now. If they win out, they can make the playoffs. They can prove some people wrong. They're not going to do it because they've shown us time and time again they have folded in big moments. Deshaun Elliott might be right. That's sad. When you hear that, though, Tina, like he's saying just because they're in Miami, these guys can't be, they're distracted.
Yeah, that is not okay. That's not good.
Soft, mentally weak, distracted. This is what Deshaun Elliott is saying. And Mike McDaniel's response at practice today was not.
Mike McDaniel. I think you said Tomlin.
I said Mike McDaniel. Did I say Mike Tomlin?
I heard Tomlin.
I said McDaniel.
I heard McDaniel.
Yeah.
I got it wrong.
Yeah.
The reason why Deshaun Elliott can say that and why he doubled down on it is because he knows they can't do anything about it.
Oh, that's crazy.
Like, that's why you might think about that about another team.
Yeah.
But in an effort to not give them bulletin board material, why would you serve them some motivation on a silver platter like that? Elliott is so confident that, like, what are they going to do about it? Nothing.
Elliott is proving to us what sadly we all believed in the first place. Not only do people not respect the Dolphins, they don't fear the Dolphins. And there should be an appropriate level of fear for any contending team, right? Like, you're not supposed to be afraid to play them. You're not supposed to be scared. But Greg Popovich talks about appropriate fear. And teams, not only are they don't respect y'all nor fear y'all. And that's likely why we see the Dolphins losing big spots all the time. But they can run it up. They can drop 70 on the Broncos in week 3. But when they play contending teams, they fold. It's a lack of respect and a lack of fear.
So Barry Jackson, who is a 35-year veteran with the Miami Herald covering the Dolphins, he said he just got out of the locker room. And he tweets this out. Several Dolphins irked about the Elliott comment. Koohu, who's a very tough guy, said he's not here for a reason. I don't know why he would go on a podcast and say anything crazy like that. If that's how he feels, he could have went on the podcast and said what he wanted to say without trying to throw shots. I feel like when he leaves the Steelers and goes to another team, Elliott will probably do the same to them. I got no respect for it. I didn't think Deshaun was the toughest guy.
All right, so here's the reason why you're wrong. Deshaun Elliott's not just a former Dolphin. He's a former Raven and a former Lion. He ain't have crap to say about those teams. He knows better. The Dolphins might be soft. I'm not saying they are. He's saying they are. The rest of the league is saying they are. National media says they are. The only people that are refuting it are the Dolphins players, and they're still barely refuting. Like, well, he's lying.
The softest man in the room has to say he's not soft.
Like, and Mike McDaniel's like, oh, cool podcast. All right. That's your team he's talking about. He just degraded y'all, denigrated. He disrespected y'all, and y'all took it on the chin. Y'all turned the other cheek. Let's see. Hold on. No, I'm going to hit it. I'm going to get it this time.
I don't know what you're looking for.
There's it. There it goes. Time for the last call. Tina, your last call is special today, right?
Today is special. Instead of fill in the blank, it's going to be guess who said it.
Okay.
And I'll give you a little bit. It was said this weekend.
Okay.
By an NFL athlete.
Okay.
Okay.
Jameis Winston.
No.
It's a player.
Not this one.
Athlete.
It is a player.
It's gonna.
No.
Active player, I think. An elevator does not need to lift me up to where I can go on my own.
An elevator. You sure that wasn't Jameis Winston?
I swear.
An elevator does not need to lift me up to where I can go on my own. I don't need help.
That's not very profound.
It's not. You know what it reminds me of, though? It reminds me of my auntie says this all the time on our prayer calls. God, I'm not asking you to move my mountain. Just help me climb it. Don't move my mountain. Just help me climb it.
Who's someone that doesn't need help and is doing it themselves right now? Baker Mayfield said it.
No.
That's who said it.
No.
Okay, is it a quarterback?
No.
Wow.
Is it someone that you knew before this quote?
No. This was sent to me, actually.
Okay, what team is he on?
The Bills.
Wow. James Cook?
No.
Khalil Shakir.
No.
Amari Cooper.
Von Miller?
No.
Who the hell else is talking to microphone? Frank Gore Jr. Deion Dawkins.
We're just going to go through the roster.
What was the point of this game?
Ed Oliver.
He said this.
Oh, Matt Milano.
No, I thought you almost got it.
It's like
Kyer Elam.
No.
This is name a bill. This is what this game turned into.
You wanted us to guess the player.
He said this while going up to a radio interview, and it was quoted.
Because he was going to take the stairs.
He did. Yes, he did not. Yes, no.
Oh no, Dawson Knox.
No.
Okay.
You want me to give it to you?
No. I want to keep guessing.
Okay.
I'm kidding. We probably are running out of time here.
Yeah, I don't know what anyone in the world is getting from this right now.
They're getting us guess Bills names. Okay.
This player also does not wear shoes. It says, or use utensils. Thinks small cats steal souls. Hasn't eaten vegetables in 3 years and doesn't cut his hair.
Oh, he's one of those conspiracy theorist guys. Is he like? Is this Micah Hyde?
No.
Or was it Jordan Poyer that was saying that? He's with the Dolphins now?
Hope this tweet's right.
Okay, what's his initials?
MH.
Micah Hyde?
No. Unless I got his whole name wrong, too.
All right, what's his name?
Mac Hollins.
Mac Hollins.
All
Yes,
right.
yes. Mac Hollins.
Gotta go
Okay,
to break.
that was good. We're going to break. Thanks.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is
and I gotta
ESPN
know.
1063.
What was the best case
Improve your
scenario?
golf
What
game
just happened?
fast at the all-new Kaiser University Golf Coaching
Dude,
Center.
you're a smart
The
person.
Kaiser University Golf
I don't
Coaching
get
Center
that one.
has the facilities, tools, and coaching you need. Enjoy the best facilities in the area with an expansive chipping and putting area, practice bunkers, a huge putting green, plus a 2,000 square foot indoor training area with 3 hitting bays, cutting-edge analysis technology, and more. The Kaiser University Golf Coaching Center in the heart of Palm Beach County off I-95 and the Turnpike. Find out more at KaiserGolfCenter.com.
We got to do the prize picks.
ESPN 1063 is presented by Rubenstein Law. 1-800-FL-LEGAL. Car accident, truck accident, Uber or Lyft accident, or a slip and fall. Call Rubenstein Law. Call 1-800-FL-LEGAL and visit one of our offices throughout Florida.
It's your boy JC, and it is football season, and nobody loves it more than me. And nobody loves Twin Peaks more than me. Eats, drinks, scenic views, 29-degree beer, happy hour daily made from scratch favorites, and always your UFC fight headquarters. You can watch any and every single football game happening in Ultra 4K HD from your Twin Peaks locations. You can watch any and every UFC fight, pay-per-view or otherwise, and never pay a cover. That's right, UFC fight headquarters, it's always Twin Peaks.
Good Greek moving and storage. Your superhero movers.
It's the Good Greek Spiro. For the best move ever, go to goodgreek.com.
Good Greek moving and storage. Your superhero movers.
Tee up your taste buds with the ultimate pairing, great food and golf. Theo Dorsey here at The House in West Palm Beach. Overlooking the park's world-class 18-hole golf course, The House offers coastal American dishes that will satisfy anyone's palate. The House is open Thursday through Sunday for lunch, brunch, and dinner. Stop by for an entree and receive a free round at the park's The Lit 9 Par 3 course. On The House. Visit thehousewestpalm.com for their full menu and to make reservations.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
I can't tell you how to run your house, but I could tell you how to run your game. It's for Prize Picks. Our YouTube stream, it's presented by Prize Picks. We just gave you some plays of the day for the basketball action tonight. Prize Picks run your game, man. Here's the deal. We have over 5 million active members right now in the #1 daily fantasy sports app. It's easy. All you do is look at player projections and you pick between 2 and 6 different player projections. You hit more or less on them. That's it. As little as 4 correct picks can win you 100 times your money on Prize Picks. Also, a $5 lineup entry, once you use the promo code THEOD, a $5 lineup entry gets you $50 for free. That's for you to use and play with, whether it's football, hockey, NHL. Heck, you can do this. Football, hockey, basketball, you can do Call of Duty. So many different player projections you can pick more or less on. And there's injury projections on Prize Picks. If a player does go out in the first half, you can get your lineup voided. Prize Picks, run your game. Go in love, go in peace, go enjoy.
Hurricane fans, the final game of the season is here.
Join us on November 23rd at Hard Rock Stadium as the Hurricanes take on the Demon Deacons of Wake Forest. It's Senior Day, a day to honor the incredible players who have given their all to the U. Let's give them a send-off they'll never forget and fill the stadium with Hurricanes pride. Don't miss out. Get your tickets today by visiting MiamiHurricanes.com.